Welcome back to Professor Layton McCure's Village, the finale. Still reeling for the strange turn of events, the two climb the tower in search of the golden apple. So yeah, this is the reason I didn't start with the story so far thing is because this is an addendum to the original story so far thing we had last time. Okay, Shiroi, you're up now.
Okay.
Just a pre-warning, you're up now for
what kind of person would live in a place like this?
Me, of course.
No, I already know what's coming here. Kind of.
You've seen.
Well, after everything that happened, there's only... It's kind of obvious what the golden apple is.
Oh, no, I kind of looked ahead.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Cheat.
Yes. No, I know what the golden apple is. I mean, I'm kind of... Oh, I've been waiting for you to.
Oh my god, it's...
It's you!
Yeah, it's her.
You'll see. It's her. Don't you get... You still haven't figured it out? Hold on.
I figured it out, because I kind of cheated.
Okay.
What's this?
It's Flora.
What's going on here?
My boy, what you see here,
what you see here is the golden apple herself.
I can hear the dialogue already.
I know, but I love that line.
Apple? Professor, you knew about this?
I'm not new.
I had an inkling. Don't you see the genius of it, though?
No, you're...
The Baron didn't write the will to find a successor to his fortune. His true aim is to find a worthy guardian for his daughter. And he was willing to put his whole fortune on the line to do so.
Yes. My name is Flora. I've been waiting here in the tower for so long.
How long?
1,000
few
years
years.
approximately.
Oh, so she's sort of like a sleeping beauty, except not asleep. Wait, hold on, wait. If she's been locked in the tower, then how did she appear before us earlier, when you think about it?
No. Bruno has been taking care of her all these years.
Yeah.
This is where she lives. This is where she lives.
Wait here until someone from outside Saint Mystere came for me.
This is where she lives. Alright.
Indeed.
Papa said that whoever came for me would be someone I could trust with my life.
But you only lived a little bit of it, love.
I know, she's very
So
young.
that's why you kept watching us move around the village. What was that?
Attack the tower!
It's King Kong.
What's going on?
Attack on Titan?
Oh, no, we are not going there.
Wouldn't that just be amazing? Professor Layton, Attack on Titan.
It's Don Paulo.
Here I
Gotta love the accordion.
Yeah.
Ready or not?
Attack!
Follow me.
Notice how Layton takes her by the hand like a true gentleman.
Indeed.
Sir, this is no time to be a gentleman. We're under attack.
Follow me. We must evacuate this tower immediately.
Professor! Let's kill accordion music again! What now?
So yeah, this is why we didn't have more animated cutscenes throughout the rest of the game, because they were saving it for the climax. Fortunately, in the second game, they got a bigger budget, so there's more animated cutscenes in the second game.
It's all right, dear. This way.
This game sold over 5 million units worldwide, so that's...
Well, it was on the DS, so...
Yeah, it's true, but it's still that impressive for a brand new IP. But it's still very impressive for a brand new IP by a company that at the time was kind of unknown.
Got it.
Just a moment, Flora.
Okay.
And now here's, you guys might remember the movie. Well, here's Professor Layton once again doing his miraculous machines.
Yes.
Yep.
Out of anything and everything he can find.
He's fucking... Screw MacGyver. Professor Layton is the true, guy who can just get
He's
out of
the shit.
Yeah.
Professor, why are you wasting our time? We gotta get going. This place is gonna collapse any minute.
Just wait for it, dwarves.
Oh. Wait.
Yeah.
I love this music so much.
No, I've listened to this quite a bit. It's really good.
Die!
The orchestral version is really good too.
These
full-blown orchestral version.
These particular flying sequences that the Layton series has, they remind me of the old Studio Ghibli movies. They also have particularly intense vehicle sequences. So, once again, Level 5 paying homage to their favorite film studio. But and here's, of course, this is going to be a running thing throughout the series. Layton protecting... he also did with Luke when it comes to the Ferris wheel. Yeah, he always protects people with his body.
Like,
my back!
For everyone.
Oh no, the borough's collapsing.
Now where will the Weasleys go to live?
Yeah, it was built by the Weasleys, so that was bound to happen sooner or later, even with the magic.
Yeah. I do like the night music, which is weird that it's playing when it's technically sunrise.
Well, actually, this music in particular, actually no, I think this is one of the songs specifically for the Apollo. What's that?
It's an apple.
My goodness, you're right, Professor! By the way, Pedro, just checking, you somehow managed to match this up with it so that the audio goes right into that. I'm impressed.
Well, it's not, I put genuine effort into this because this is fucking Professor Layton. Fortunately, I'm not gonna have to do this.
You put effort into what you love, Gilbert.
Yes, indeed.
This is a lesson I learned from level 5, see? But, fortunately, I'm not gonna have to do this throughout the next 3 games because, the emulator can actually do the animated cutscenes well when it comes to the next games.
Indeed.
So... we're fine.
It makes you almost wonder if the cat was a robot as well.
No, the cat was a genuine cat.
I know. I know. It's just saying. It's like, I'm just saying. It's like, well, that's what I was wondering the first time. Is like, well, first I was wondering, is the cat a robot too?
Yeah. Like I was saying, that racket that scared Claudia off during part 1, that was Don Paulo. So yeah, it all adds up at the end like a good mystery story. Go ahead, Joba.
Alright. So, sorry about that.
That means the treasure that Lady Dolly and the others were chasing never existed in the first place.
No, I'm fairly certain they weren't mistaken. I do believe a fortune is hidden somewhere within this village. But the Baron would need to hide it somewhere, only the Golden Apple would know to look.
You mean that Floridum's where the treasure's hidden?
I'm sorry, but I don't know about a treasure or anything like that.
She's the treasure.
Well, of course, there's that too, but there is an actual real treasure. Well, she is a real treasure. You get my point. There's money.
She's a treasure, but there's also a fortune because of her father.
Yeah, her father was rich, so the fortune must have been hidden somewhere, right?
Right, and now it's time to deal with mystery number uno.
What?
Professor, do you really think the treasure could be located here?
I'm the
He
treasure.
still hasn't caught on, has he?
Look closely at this painting, Luke. I'm sure it holds the key to the Reinhold fortune.
What painting? The one at the chandelier? Oh.
But I've already looked at it.
Lazy
about it.
Luke.
If we solve this mystery, I'm certain we'll come face to face with the Reinhold treasure. Touch the painting where the golden apple is hidden, and we...
Professor, that requires me to touch her.
It's a bit higher
You
than that.
dirty
It's a bit higher up than that.
I remember now. It's right here.
So yeah, So yeah, the particular apple mark only appears when Flora smiles. So the treasure can only be obtained by someone who makes Flora smile.
But she's not smiling.
Well, she smiled when she hugged Layton.
How does that work? That has got to be one of the weirdest birthmarks.
The power of smiling.
And to fake that Rhino Matter held the secret behind this painting all along. It looks like there's a passage that leads further in.
It's a jigsaw trap.
Oh.
Let's see where this passage goes.
You know, it would be really awkward if all of a sudden the passage sealed them in.
Money!
Maybe it's like the Cave of Wonders. Touch it and
Oh my goodness, look at this place. I had no idea. Can we pull a Scrooge McDuck and go diving?
No, you break your neck.
Now, how in the world did you know that the switch was hidden in the painting?
Because I'm Layton.
Magic.
Listen closely. Wisdom wasn't the only thing Baron Reinhold required of potential guardians for his only daughter. You saw it too, did you not? That peculiar mark on her neck that only appeared once she laughed. In other words, Baron Reinhold set out one last requirement for the potential inheritor of his fortune. He wanted someone who could make Flora smile again after losing those dear to her. To that person and that person alone would Baron Reinhold reveal the location of his actual fortune.
What if someone just happened to just put their thumb on the picture?
That's unbelievable, Professor. But it all makes sense now.
You seriously just put your hand on the thing by mistake and then bam, it's the treasure.
Well, yeah. Dreads.
Where's that voice coming from?
Oh.
It's a recording of Baron Reinhold's voice, so Dreads.
Flora, you've made it here at last.
That voice? Papa, is that you?
Yes.
Papa!
My dear Flora, has the village watched over you as I would have? I built St. Mystere for you so you would never have to know true loneliness.
Wow, that is incredibly devoted.
Well, to be fair, Bruno did the actual building, but that's besides the point.
Credit him.
In any case, if you've come this far, I suppose it's safe to assume my plan was a success.
It'd be really awkward if someone else came through.
My greatest regret is that I'm not there to see you become a young woman. But please know that I want nothing more than for you to be happy. Whether the person by your side right now can give you that or not is up to you, I suppose. And to you who have found your way to my daughter's side, you have my heartiest congratulations. Few can make it through the barrage of puzzles I set before you.
Unless you're sure.
I imagine the person of your abilities has already caught on, but allow me to reveal St. Mystere's secret.
The secret of St. Mystere?
It was all a dream. Recently, I was told by my physician that I don't have much time left on this earth. I can come to terms with dying, but the thought of leaving my only child alone in the world torments me. This is why I have commissioned Bruno to construct St. Mystere. At least this way, she'll be safe and protected until she's old enough to venture into the outside world.
So it makes your orphanage.
Streets and buildings are the bones of a village, but its heart is the people who live in it.
He doesn't trust anyone but the people who are close to him.
This is why I asked Bruno to create all the villages here, as well as all the puzzles hidden within them.
So yeah, Bruno was the one who came up with all these puzzles.
I've asked Matthew to make news of my death public only once Flora has grown past childhood. So, stranger, how does my beautiful little flower look now? I imagine she's blossoming into adulthood. equally important to me is finding someone to whom I can entrust both my daughter and my fortune. This is why the inhabitants of St. Mystere are constantly testing the knowledge of the visitor. If you've made it this far, it must mean that you both possess wisdom and dedication to my daughter. I am confident that you will take good care of my fortune and Flora. This is why everything in this room, the whole of my fortune, belongs to you now. When you remove it from here, St. Mystere will complete the objective for which it was created.
And then it'll self-destruct.
I imagine the inhabitants will fall into a deep sleep from which they are never to awaken.
Oh, so it is Sleeping Beauty.
The robots are programmed to stop working when this is all done.
Now wait just a minute. Is it saying that if we take the treasure, all St. Mystere will disappear?
I honestly don't know the answer to that question.
Of course it will.
But it's possible that St. Mystere is designed to shut down the instant we lay a hand on this treasure.
How does that work? So if that happens, everyone will just stop?
This is for me. This particular conclusion is generally heartbreaking because I've come to generally care about the citizens of this town, even if they are.
Of course, I'm gonna fucking stop.
Yes, we will.
I leave it to you, brave traveller. Draw the curtain on St. Mystere and lay this lifeless village to rest. Above all else, take care of my precious daughter. She's in your hands now.
Don't we need a bunch of adoption papers to sign, mister?
They're going to take care of that, not on screen, but I'm assuming they do, because
I know, I'm just making the joke that probably anyone in the audience is thinking at the moment.
Alright.
I don't want it.
The treasure, she means. But why ever not, my dear?
Because I don't need money, I need love.
People who live here have been with me for so long. Curious as this village is, it's watched me grow up. I want St. Mystere, my village, to stay just as it is, forever.
Aw, I don't get the money.
I see.
But I need it, I want to pay my rent.
Can we just take part of it? Maybe a fraction?
Then so it shall be. But what of you, Flora? Will you stay here with your village?
But Professor, I need to pay for my college tuition.
Don't worry, Luke. Have you forgotten that your parents are also rich? Which we will only learn in the fourth game, but that's beside the point.
Well, the fourth game is technically the first in terms of continuity, so...
Are you sure this is quite alright, my lady? Shiro, you're up again.
Oh. Certainly. If leaving will make Flora happy, I'd like nothing more than to see her off with a smile.
Shut down.
I don't think you'd really have much of a choice.
Alright, FMV.
Okay.
Or animated cutscene if you prefer. And they all come to Zero.
So can they leave the village?
No, they're programmed to...
Oh, right.
You know.
You can't
And they
leave.
all get to live because she left the treasure behind.
Aw, Professor! I needed that money. I was on my way to inventing the cure for the common cold.
Alright, I love that. I love Flora's final line.
Goodbye then.
And this is Lanny Manila, right?
Yeah, Lenny Manella plus Flora.
It's
I couldn't
funny.
even completely hear that line. Thank you, Joe.
Sorry.
That's odd though. I mean,
She said, goodbye then, my little village. Okay, hold on.
What an
Listen.
astonishing village that was, Professor. Does this mean you'll be gracing the front pages of the London papers again sometime soon?
No, Luke. St. Mystere's secret must stay between us.
Huh? Why do you say that?
You see, my dear boy, we don't want people to make a spectacle of Flora. That wouldn't be right.
Of course. Always thinking of others.
Well, one must always put a lady's needs first. That's what a gentleman does.
I love these characters so much.
Yes. Oh.
She looks so cute.
Oh, but Professor, can we please take a gold bar at least? I'm curing.
You're very good at turning all these characters into arseholes.
Oh, shut up.
I'm on my way to curing nose stuffing.
No.
Alright, so this is the puzzle master, Akira Tago. Akira Tago is the professor of a certain university in Japan, and he was the one who created the Head Gymnastics magazine of puzzles that inspired Akira Hino, our producer here and president of Level 5 and lead writer of this series, to create this series. And that character design, Takuza Nagano, awesome character design, thank you Mr. Nagano. And Tomohito Nishihura, the brilliant composer and sound head of Level 5.
An accordion addict.
Indeed. So there's gonna be some screenshots in the top screen that are gonna give us some insight into what happened shortly after this. You know, we actually see Flora cooking for Luke and Layton.
Hey, he stole the money!
And stuff like that. So
Stop that guy!
let's save our final thoughts for after the credits, just for the sake of us paying attention to these.
That's the actual detective.
No. Right now we're watching some images that are
So
kind of
so can we play caption this?
Play what? Sorry.
Caption this.
What's that?
You see a picture and you try and you put some words over it, like what the characters are thinking right now.
Oh, I see. So these pictures don't indicate what happens afterwards.
And by the way, this
These seem
music
to
is
be a
absolutely-
reminiscence of some of the events that transpired in the game.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's just because the first picture seemed to be an after.
Don Paulo.
UK English text.
Yeah, because the English text, the English script suffered some alterations. But yeah.
Because we like our youths.
Yes, we do.
Yeah,
Especially the
indeed.
Welsh.
It's interesting because the president of Nintendo Europe, Shibata, he's a huge fan of Level 5, so he takes great care into the localization of these games. But okay, what I was gonna say
About the screenshots.
Yeah, right now we're basically summing up what happened. And this is Don Paulo after he crashed his final machine that he tried to get us.
I'll meet you next time, Layton. Next time.
Actually, that's pretty much what he said at the end. Actually, so it was kind of nice. It gives it that feel of old. And by the way, this music is absolutely beautiful. I love this final credits music.
It's a very fitting ending theme for this kind of game. It's really
and now one last time, the full version of the Professor Layton theme, aka the main theme of the series. Nice. So here we go.
I love this.
Right.
Come on.
Now, okay.
That's his theme, silence.
Okay, and now we're actually seeing stuff after the ending. Apparently Luke took with him the mask.
Oh, yeah, great, Professor. You didn't let me keep the money, but you let me keep the sodding mask.
Oh, but no, don't you
Whoop-de-doo.
True
Hey,
gentlemen
look, think about it.
never
You could
take
sell
me.
masks for money.
Professor, what are you hiding in your jacket?
Nothing, my dear boy. It's just another puzzle.
Gold! How could you?
So yeah, this is my big contribution to the playthrough, making every character in this game a massive dick.
I think people are gonna like that though.
Well, you already... Oh, and here is Flora cooking for them.
There you are, voice actors, Christopher Miller and Maria Darling.
Yeah.
That's it.
We also had Lana Minella play, but this is because this is the European version, so they only have the British actors, I'm guessing, because I think in the American credits, oh, here's Pavel, and he's still lost. Go figure.
Help guys, I'm a bit lost. Again.
This is another great thing about Level 5's writing. This character doesn't have all that much screen time, and yet he's still likable, memorable, and I generally love him. Like,
Can I ask, since he appeared in Saint Mystere, but he's an explorer who has no sense of direction. That means that he's a real person and not a robot like the rest of
No. He is a real. Pavel actually is a real person. Yes.
You were saying he appears in future games. So
they even put back when they first found him out in the sewers. They even said it. Wait a minute. If Set Mysteria has been closed off, how did you get here? I don't know. Like that's the joke. He always manages to get into places where he's not supposed to even be able to get to, just because of his sense of direction. It's a great running joke, in my opinion. Yeah. Okay, so meanwhile, the professor received one letter, and what
divorce
is that
papers.
And what is that letter?
It's a letter inviting him to the next Super Smash game.
And we'll have to wait. And a final screenshot of something.
I'm afraid I'll have to decline. I'm being retired.
Hold on. To be continued in Professor Layton and Pandora's Box,
which we have a raw up on the channel of.
We actually have 3 of them, actually.
Which we will be getting to
very soon.
Eventually.
Yes.
Okay, but before we stop this recording, it's time for us to finally sum up our final thoughts.
I'll go first.
So, it's my playthrough. I start.
Oh, I've never gone first yet.
Fine, you go first.
Well, when I first played this game, I was quite amazed, actually. Granted, Ace Attorney is still the better of the two, but Professor Layton still does amazing things. It does the great job of actually getting me invested in puzzle solving, actual puzzles as well. And I love the story, and I'm amazed at how much content they fit in for a DS game. There's no lack of effort whatsoever. The acting is keen, the dialogue is nice, the music is stellar, and, I do like how each story slips into the next one. So yeah, amazing game.
For me, it's just like, even after all these years, I still love this game, and it's still a great testament to the talent and creativity of Level 5. Because it does a great job of entertaining you with a great story, great characters, while challenging your brain with great brain-teasing puzzles. The presentation is always the case of Level 5, absolutely stellar. The music, especially for a DS game, is fantastic. It's not full-blown orchestra, but it might as well be, because it sure damn sounds like one. Whatever. I have no idea. I have no idea what Tomohito Nishihara did to make the music in this game sound like it's an actual orchestra. But goddamn it, he pulled it off. The animated cutscenes are fantastically animated, in my opinion. True, you have to deal with some compression issues because of the DS and stuff, but it gets better as the budget rose and stuff for the series.
You can find high-quality cutscenes on YouTube anyway. So.
That too, but the sprite animation, while not... the sprite animation is not the best, mostly because of the time they didn't have the budget that they would have for later games. And it's not quite it's not quite as fluid as Ace Attorney, but it's gonna get better, especially by the time we get to Spectre's Call. Sure, by the time we get to Lost Future, it's gonna be fantastic and all that stuff. The voice acting is fantastic. Christopher Miller is absolutely spot on. And I cannot imagine any other person playing Professor Layton. Like, he truly embodies and made the character his own. Mm-hmm. Maria Darling is absolutely wonderful as Luke, too. She didn't have much to say, but mostly because of the voice acting in this game is at the minimum in comparison. But it's going to get better. Like, in Pandora's Box, we get a lot more voice acting, and even more in Lost Future.
Oh, I can't wait till we get to Lost Future.
Because as soon as we
can't wait for the crossover.
Because of the bigger budget, they were able to cram in more voice acting in the actual in-game footage, not just in the FMVs. So it's going to be awesome. It's a fantastic game. Even after all these years, it has some unrefined elements, like having that puzzle be mandatory to the story. But considering this is the first ever story-driven puzzle game, it's kind of a new kind of game. Catherine, for example, took a page from that. I think it's excusable that not to mention the fact that they created a brand new IP and managed to create so many fans and sell so many units. with a concept for a game that is not appealing to everyone, to me, that's a testament to the quality of the game. So yeah, it's an awesome game. I love it. It's not the best in the series. It's one of the weakest in the series, but that's not
It's
at
the
all.
first. That's completely understandable.
But that's not. But that's
This
not
is
at all.
a fantastic game, nonetheless.
Yeah, but that's not at all a bad thing to say about it. It's a wonderful little gem of a game that you can clearly tell that the developers poured their heart and soul into this. The story is intriguing from all the way. A wonderful, heartwarming payoff. The one. So, yeah, I love this game. Dwibs.
Okay, well, bearing in mind that the only experience I have with Layton is what little I've played of the crossover with Ace Attorney, from what I could see, I actually kind of liked it.
Yeah.
And that's it.
You don't have anything more to... Oh, come on.
I guess to be fair, we've said so much.
Just said everything
What did you think?
So...
Do you have anything to add to what we thought of the story? Or
all I can really add is that I loved making all the characters absolute dicks.
Oh, but I can at least assume, judging from what we've seen, I'm guessing you love Paulie.
Who?
Paulie, the fat guy who's always mad.
Oh yeah, I love him. He's so angry.
That's the great thing. That's another great thing. Like I said, level 5, Ramon, for example. Ramon was also a very memorable character, not just because of Joe's best, but the who's that he makes. Level 5 is great in that. They manage to, even if a character has very few screen time, they still take advantage of every second that he's in just to give him enough character for him to be memorable.
Yeah.
So yeah, Shiroi.
Well, I can't really... Well, I'm just going to add to what Pedro said because my opinion pretty much mirrors his. I will say that in terms of gameplay, I prefer Ace Attorney because I'm more into the whole courtroom drama thing, but I really like the Layton story. Gameplay is the only thing that will put me off, but the story is my type of thing. I love that we have an American actor who doesn't overplay the British accent. I mean, if I wasn't told he was American, I would have thought he was British.
Yeah, and kind of like with Hugh Laurie playing Dr. House, where everybody thought he was genuinely American, but then turns out he was British.
I mean, it's like who's the lady who voices Luke in America?
Lani Minella.
It's
the same
Lani
woman,
Minella,
the same woman who voices Flora.
And Bubsy.
She's a bad Luke. I've heard.
And Bubsy.
Well, we're in the extras. We're actually going to listen to some of the voice acting she did for this game.
Okay.
So,
for who? Luke or other characters?
Luke, mostly, I assume.
Just the Luke, because another great thing that Jova even mentioned is that the game, the Professor Layton games have a lot of content, because it's not just about the story and the puzzles you find in the main campaign. You can also unlock extra puzzles for... to solve, and the more picarats you gain, the more extras you unlock. You can unlock a theater mode to watch all the cutscenes. You can unlock a sound test. You can unlock the voice clips from the first in-game cutscene that actually had voice acting. So that's awesome. You can also unlock a gallery of profiles that describe every single character in the game, even the minor ones, in further detail. And here's an interesting thing: if you go online with your DS right now and boot up this game online, you will immediately unlock 365 puzzles that are not available otherwise. Because one thing that Level 5 always does with Layton games is, for example, Azure Legacy came out in Europe this November 8th, to be honest. Right, November 9th, new puzzle to download. November 10th, another puzzle to download. Throughout an entire year, we have one puzzle per day, basically, so we can download for free.
Oh, wow.
Did they do that with even the DS ones?
The 3DS ones, yes.
Oh, the 3DS ones. I thought you were saying, like if you booted up this game.
Every single Level 5 does. Every single Professor Layton game does this. Level 5 always does. If there's one, you know how Capcom does shit with DLC. Level 5 is brilliant with DLC.
Well, Capcom did do good ones with Turnabout Reclaimed.
True. But the crossover, for example, has actual side stories that take place after the main story that you can download for absolutely zero money.
Which we'll be commentating over when we get to the crossover, without a doubt.
And
I have a
when we get,
suggestion
and then
for
we
the
later I can
crossover.
properly
I
do.
think
Yes.
that we shouldn't do the crossover until we get to that point in either series.
Oh, I agree. Oh, I agree definitely, without a doubt. I mean,
Well, the crossover takes place between Layton 2 and Layton 3, and I guess between Ace Attorney 2 and Ace Attorney 3.
gosh. Well,
Okay.
I guess. Well, I was sort of planning because there's sort of some relevant jokes I had for Trials and Tribulations, which would sort of work if we did like the third game of.
It's going to be a long
Layton
time before we
first.
can actually do that game.
Not to mention
we
the
might
fact
as
that
well.
one of us has to save up money to get.
The only thing I'd like to add about this game is that I regret not playing it because this is a very popular series, but the reason I never played it, and I've mentioned this before, but I don't think I mentioned it during a recording, is that it was because of the name. I mean, around the time, the DS especially had a lot of brain training games, which I don't really find appealing.
Yeah.
For a name like Professor Layton,
that was actually
made
interesting.
it sound like
That's-
another one of those, but for more mature audiences, and that's why I never picked it up. And I feel stupid.
I kind of have to
Okay.
agree.
Well,
That is
no,
one.
don't feel like that, because Level 5 at the time was still like they had a cult fan base at that point, but they were still not mainstream like they are now. So it's no wonder, because it's such an interesting that you bring that point, because Akira Hino said once in an interview that one of the big thought processes when creating this series was, okay, there were already a lot of brain-teasing puzzle games on the DS, so what could we do to make this one stand out? Oh, I know. We create a story around the puzzles, and the story is basically your reward for solving the puzzles.
Yeah, I think that's sort of like my only thing that...
But yeah, that's the reason why I never picked it up before, and I'm going to.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, well, I guess I didn't really pick it up because I'd never really heard of it at the time. Then again, to be fair, I had never really gotten into what Ace Attorney was at the time either. I guess,
Oh,
yeah.
I love courtroom dramas and courtroom style anything. So,
Agreed.
like, Ace Attorney is right up my alley.
Yeah, I will say that
Yeah.
Professor Layton is one of those few brain teaser games that actually has gotten me invested in it, despite some of my detriments with the gameplay. I mean, I may like puzzles occasionally, but I'm not really often into, like, you know, absolute puzzle-centered gameplay, but Professor Layton will hold a special place in my heart.
In that in itself is a testament to the amount of love and care that Level 5 put in this game.
I know, they made a genre that's normally boring for video gamers actually fit for gamers. Go figure.
That's so if there's one thing I think all of us can agree, is that Level 5 poured their heart and soul into this game. I think we can all agree.
Despite my love for courtroom stuff, the reason I haven't actually picked up Ace Attorney, like, around the time it came out, was because I'd never heard of it.
Same here.
Yeah.
But it was never advertised as much as Professor Layton here. I mean, I only heard of it because of Brain Scratch. Like, I've only heard of it in the past year or so.
For a moment, I thought you were going to say Hellfire Comms, because Tom 64 from Hellfire Comms is a huge Layton fan, and he's British, so...
No, it was actually Brain Scratch.
Oh, interesting.
So, yeah, shall we end it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been talking long enough.
Right, so we'll see you next time for...
Professor Layton and Pandora's Box.
Yeah, that.